Man, you know, I will say that, the press team over at the White House, this press team over at the White House right now, led by Caroline Levitt, it might be the most incompetent in American history.
Right?
And
You're
it is. It's I
Yes.
mean, Spicer on day one when the inauguration crowd. I mean, it's hard. How do you outspice
It just went
Spicer?
downhill
But
after him.
yeah, I mean, it did, but I do think Caroline Levitt is giving it a run for his money, and I mean, I to me, what is the old saying about press secretaries and press teams? When the national security folks want to keep them in the dark, it's sort of like their mushrooms keep them in the dark and feed them shit.
Yes.
They don't tell the press teams all that much anyway in terms of what to tell the press because they're just always ultra concerned about national security secrets, maintaining some kind of lid on classified information and so on, to the point where it's probably just ridiculous. But I mean, this is putting all of that to the side. What's really going on here, and John and Brian, feel free to disagree with me, is that we're just seeing little by little over the course of several months, just a completely, tightening of press restrictions with the Trump administration, and
You
with
expect
kicking
me to
out the
disagree with
Associated
that, brother?
Press. Right, kicking the Associated Press out of the Oval Office and Air Force One, trying to regulate who gets to come into the Oval Office, where you now have these sycophantic state media like outlets asking Trump questions, and they're just ridiculous suck up questions. I mean, it's an embarrassment to the United States of America. And now this. And what they're trying to do is, for the folks at home who don't understand how this works, we in the press corps have the ability to leave the briefing room, go through the doors that are sort of to the side of the podium, go into an area called lower press where there are some, like, lower level press aides that you can talk to
The
and ask questions
Wranglers.
of. Yeah, the Wranglers. And then you can go up this hallway and past the Secret Service guy. And then there's upper press. There's an area up there where the press secretary is, the communications director, and so on. Those folks tend to know a little bit more than
Right.
what the people in lower press know, which is not very much at all. And so they're just trying to keep the press further and further away from these people who are paid for with tax. I mean, their salaries are paid for with our tax dollars,
Yeah.
and it's just absolutely a joke. And they're out of control, and as I like to say, out of their minds.
Well, yeah, what little minds they have. But to add to what you're saying, I mean, when I would go up there, and I've been, God, I'm old, been going up there since Reagan. But I would walk up there like during cabinet meetings or whenever there were people visiting the White House. You could stand up there and wait, and then they would come out and you could talk to them. For the people who don't know, this is one of our greatest access points to an administration. Anyone coming out of the Oval would invariably come drifting down that hall at some point in time, or out of the other hall that led, that's right off the circle of the Oval. You go up and you make that right into upper press, but if you go straight, you'd end up being wrestled to the ground by Secret Service agents. But those people, if you stood right outside that door, you could catch, especially during cabinet meetings, pretty much every cabinet member when they left, and you could get a sound bite or an interview or just something from them. And now this is just simply, I think, to your point, Jim, it's just about shutting us down completely, not wanting us to have any access that's not pre-approved. And that's what this memo says. And I think it's chicken shit that they drop it at 5 o'clock on Halloween
Of
Friday
course.
afternoon.